What's up, everyone? So excited to see you. This is my first segment of Chit Chat with Coach J from the couch. So I want y'all to be super honest with me because y'all are my people. And I always want to be delivering the goods to you. On this channel, I talk about things that I do not say on my timeline, on my Facebook, or whatever platform you may see me on. This is for me and you. And this is one of my favorite stories, especially because I serve very, very, very powerful women. And one thing about it as a woman is that we go through a lot. Okay. And when we go through a lot, everything is affected. Our emotions affect the way that we run business. So let me tell you something right now. The people sometimes say that business isn't emotional. And that probably can apply to some things. But because many of us are building something from scratch, we are doing something for our family, for ourselves, for our children, right? We're building legacy. There is financial transformation attached to what we're doing in our businesses every day. Oh, baby, it's emotional. And all it takes is one thing in life, to throw us completely off. But if there's anything I can recommend for you this year, I'm going to recommend that you hold your frequency. Hold your frequency when the kids are acting crazy, when hubby is going crazy, when the boyfriend is tripping, when your parents are tripping, when the light bill is higher than it usually is, when the car starts acting up, when it seems like every time you finna turn up in life, a tooth start hurting. Like anything can go down. And this is just a story about that. So story time is on. But before I get too deep in it, I am Jalynn. I am a coach to powerful women who are owners of personal brands, service-based businesses, product-based businesses, and I coach them as well as offer sales and marketing services with a really powerful team. My team is so dope. We have women in Africa. We have women in Texas. We have women in Atlanta who run this super powerful business. So I have a really great time each and every day serving my clients. And when I'm not serving my clients, I'm chilling on the couch with you. So this segment today is really about how you master your frequency. And frequency meaning like keeping your energy high no matter what's going on in life is all rooted in the decisions that you're deciding to make. Okay. And so let me tell you the tea. I am a lover girl to the 40,000th power. And although I am originally from California, I was raised in Atlanta and did all of my education wise in terms of college from North Carolina. So shout out to my HBCU folks. I graduated from Fayetteville State University, went on to get my graduate degree from UNC Charlotte. And right after I graduated, I did what the people tell you to do. Go get the degrees, then get the job, right? And so, it took me literally 10 years in healthcare to get to the point where I was able to create six figures in my career. And once I did, I just knew I would be that girl once I made six figures and that everything would be perfect now because I would feel financially stable. But here's the thing. Once I started making six figures, I realized not that it wasn't any money, but it wasn't the end of me and it wasn't the ultimate goal. And that there was more that I had to give to the world and that my legacy financially didn't stop at six figures a year. And so, y'all, I mustered up the strength to quit my job. But let me take you back to that lover girl era that I was in at this time. I had just fell in love with a Jamaican and Belizean man. There's somebody in the comments like, ooh, let us pray. But no, I had just fell in love with an amazing man who I have no regrets about. But our season is over, and a part of the story is about that season being over and what happened when I decided. So anywho, when I met him, I think it was around 2018, when I was living in LA, living my best life, girl. The waist was snatched, the body was looking good. I was in my era, just looking amazing and doing well in my career. And he comes along and just really shifts the way I see myself. I can really say, like, I feel like I became a woman in that era of our relationship, right? And at the point in time where I decided to quit my job, I also let him know, like, I think we should move back to the East Coast. Like, you're originally from New York. All of my family, like my close family, my mom and my brother, and my network is in Atlanta. And if I'm going to quit my job, I need to be where the support is. So, like, I gave him a straight up, like, let's move. Had this whole proposition for him. He's like, but, like, I'm not going to have a job. You're not going to have a job. But y'all, I am a dreamer, and I just knew Black Pretty and Paid, the business that I run today, was going to take off. What I didn't know at that time is how long it would take and what I would have to go through to get to the point where I have a successful company. But he obliged my request, and we ended up moving back to Atlanta, Georgia. And when we moved back to Atlanta, y'all, I was just ready for bliss. I was ready for the business to take off. I just knew the relationship was going to keep flourishing. I just knew that I was about to go into even a greater era of wealth and just becoming. And I was, but I went through some turmoil, some mud, and some lessons first. A part of the lesson was the business didn't take off as quick as I thought it would. And I had to invest over $100,000 for me to see the business get to the point that I needed it to go to. So the first lesson, y'all, is when you are on assignment and you're operating in a vision, be ready for life to shift and for things to come up that you weren't expecting. Okay. And you have to be able to champion the journey and trust the process, because there are going to be so many times where you're questioning what the hell is going on. Relationships started getting sticky, and mainly because of finances, and also because, like, you told us to move, you told us everything was going to be great, right? And it just was a really rough time. The business did eventually start to kick off and take off after a year, and I'm going to fast forward into 2022 when I was turning 30. The girlies that get it. When you turn 30, I just feel like everything spiritually shifts. And I looked up one day, y'all, and I realized that I had completely abandoned myself. Okay? I had completely abandoned myself. I was 40 pounds heavier than I was when I started in the relationship. I wasn't taking care of myself. Nails wasn't done. Toes wasn't done. Hair wasn't done. I completely let myself go in stress and having my head down, building the business. And honestly, I even exited the relationship at some point, like mentally, to where I realized I wasn't spending as much time with him. I wasn't honoring his feelings. And there's so much that, like, I learned that I would definitely do better in the next go round. But I just realized that I started prioritizing him and my business more than I was prioritizing myself. Like, I am still shedding the weight mentally, physically, and emotionally from that relationship. But there was one day where everything changed, y'all, which led to one of the most memorable $20,000 days I've ever had. We were arguing one day. Arguing was like our very toxic spot. It just felt like that was the thing that was like the shift in the relationship that made me, realize this is not healthy. But, it was around my 30th birthday. Everything was shifting for me. And we got into this argument. I don't even remember what it was about. But what I do remember is that day I made a decision. And I was like, yo, this is not going to be healthy for me. I had a workshop that same week or whatever the case may be. And this workshop was created to help women, build their business and make additional income utilizing in-person social or business related events. Women had paid $45 or $47 to be in this room. It was completely virtual, and I had about 20 something people that showed up and signed up, right? And so, I did all of my virtual classes from the house. I had my little desk and my nice little setup. And I'm just expecting that, it's going to be a normal week. I'm going to do my workshop. I got women signed up. I had a $5,000 offer to sell to the women on this workshop that would help them continue to grow beyond the information that I was teaching them. And when we got into this argument, it just felt so icky for me because I felt powerless in my home, but powerful in my business. And I just knew I didn't want to live a double life for the marketplace. I didn't want to live a double life as a person or a coach or whatever the case may be. And I just had it that day. And I let him know, like, I am leaving. I even had him help me pack up my car, y'all. And at that time, he helped me pack up my car and I left. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't feel comfortable telling anybody we were broken up. I felt a lot of shame about it. So I hid, and I didn't know if I was going to stay in my car that night, but I ended up eventually finding myself at a hotel. And y'all, car packed up with stuff. I pulled out a few things, which was my laptop, my mic, some clothes, and some makeup. And the next day, y'all, I went live from the hotel to produce that workshop. I had some speakers there that were on my team, and I had some team members in the chat. And let's just say, y'all, that it got to a point in this workshop. And, one thing about being in business, y'all, is that your clients, especially as a service-based business owner, your clients will oftentimes be a mirror to you. And they were going through things. There were women who were struggling with, their husbands and managing the business. And I just had a moment with them after like strategizing with them and teaching them about business and all the things that they came for. I said, look, I broke down and told them my story and what I was going through right in that moment about how I had broken up with my boyfriend the day before this event and how I was hosting a workshop from my hotel room. Look, internet was glitching, y'all. Y'all know how the internet in hotels are sometimes. Internet was glitching. Resolution wasn't that good. Lighting wasn't great. I didn't have all the bells and whistles that day, y'all. I just came, me, my power, and my decision. And we showed up. I told my story. I pitched my offer and ended up getting a $20,000 cash injection that day. 2 women paid in full, $4,500. They took a fast action bonus. They paid in full. 2 women, $4,500. And the others that ended up moving forward in the offer paid with the deposit. I had a $20,000 day and projected over $50,000 in cash in my business with these women who moved forward into this offer. Now, it wasn't that I hadn't had success in business before this day, but it was just something that was so symbolic about making a decision to prioritize yourself, to choose yourself, to choose that I am powerful, to choose that I will hold my frequency, to choose that no matter what is happening, that I will still follow through with the mission, the vision that God has given me, the assignment that is on my life. There was something about that particular experience that showed me who I was. Whew. But listen, I'm not going to give y'all all of the tea today. We have plenty of time to have our chit chats, to sit here on the couch and to let it all out. But I want to hear from you how this resonated with you, and just know that we are locked in, and I will be sharing way more things. There's so much that is behind what it feels like, looks like, and is like to build a 6 and 7 figure plus business as a woman, and I want to spend that time with you. So with that being said, I can't wait till our next time on the couch, and I will see you soon. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Honey.